subscribe button. And please hit on the little notification bell so you get updated whenever I drop episodes like this one right here. But like I was saying, man, we're going to go over the blueprint on how the Raiders can beat the Miami Dolphins. Now, coming into this game, we 10-point underdogs. A lot of people have already written this off, already saying this is Miami's get-back game after the Kansas City game. All right, and I want to remind everybody, the Miami Dolphins have not beaten anybody with a 500 and above record. Once again, the Miami Dolphins have not beaten a team with a 500 or better record. So, okay, Raiders are sitting at 500. Now, I can see how everybody's saying, oh, the Raiders have beaten two bad New York teams, whatever. Miami is too high-powered for them. So there are things that I believe the Raiders do that don't really match up well with Miami. I mean, the same thing can be said vice versa. They do things that we don't really match up well with either. So a couple of things are going to need to happen for the Raiders to go ahead and win and beat this team. And it's possible, all right? Because I saw a poll earlier. A lot of Raider fans are asking, what's more possible, okay? The Miami win or a Kansas City win? And to me, I think it's a Miami win. And this is why. Okay, one, let's start with the offensive side of the ball for us. We do things that they don't match up well with, okay? And why do I say that? Currently, right now, the Miami Dolphins are giving up around 106 or 107 rush yards a game. I know, we're going to say this again. Miami is giving up 106 to 107 rush yards per game. And if you're like me and you a Raiders fan that really watch, you know what the fuck that means if you hear that stat, okay? That means number 8 gonna touch the ball early and often, okay? And that would be the game plan for me. And even when I watched the Kansas City game, the last time they played, I believe they played Kansas City in Germany. When you watch that game, Kansas City didn't have a lot of success going down the field. What they had success with was with Isaiah Pacheco. All right, he was able to run off a pretty good couple of runs there, right, to get them ahead of the sticks, ahead of the chains, and they were able to put a couple of drives together, ultimately leading to a couple of touchdown drives. All right, but to me, another key that the key to this game is going to be getting the ball in number 8's hands early and often. Now, I think the strength of their defense is in the secondary. Okay, they got Xavier Howard, they got Jalen Ramsey, they have Javon Holland. Okay, like these are guys that are Pro Bowl guys. All right, these are Pro Bowl motherfuckers, and I think that's the strength of the defense. But in no way, shape, or form am I thinking that this defense is like the defense we just played. It's not. It's not. We'll be able to take advantage of a couple of things on the interior. All right, we will be able to do that, especially if the line keeps firing off the way they're firing off in the run game. It's going to be ugly, okay? And I think the way the Raiders can really control this game is by controlling the time of possession, okay? If we control the time of possession with the run game and keep that offense off schedule, keep them off the field, I think the Raiders will be able to put a little fear in their heart. I mean, even going back when you watch Miami play the New England Patriots, the Patriots don't have the best passing attack, but they was running the motherfucking ball with Ramondre Stevenson that day. And the game, for all intents and purposes, was pretty close for the first 3 quarters until New England started turning the ball over and doing certain things, all right? And if you start turning the ball over and not capitalizing on, certain things that Miami's going to give you, then they're going to overwhelm you with the points, with the scoring. So I think on the offensive side of the ball, we'll be able to get busy in that interior. All right. If our O-line comes to play and fire off like they have been, we'll be able to get busy. All right. And Josh Jacobs will be able to have a day. And off of that, we can get the play action going, get their eyes averted because, although I like their DBs, they're prone to cheat. All right. Xavier Howard will cheat. Jalen Ramsey will cheat and try to get a little jump on the ball. So with these receivers we have, with the speed we got, I think we'll be able to get them. Now, the real test shall come on the defensive side of the ball for us, okay? This is the game where we find out if this defense is motherfucking for real. And yes, I have sat here and said that it's 8-9 weeks into the season. What you see is what you are, okay? But if we had any plans on doing anything, this is one of them tests right here. Okay, this motherfucking offense is for real. Now, last week, We talked about this was a test for the offensive side of the ball for us because that Jets defense coming in here was no joke. Cool. Now the same thing can be said on the other side of the ball for our defense. This offense ain't no joke. And if you allow them, they're going to fucking embarrass you. If you allow them. So what do we need to do? I mean, number one thing you need to do for me, I know everybody thinks about the high flying stuff when you talk about Miami, but really don't forget, Mike McDaniel come from that Shanahan tree, that Kyle Shanahan tree. And what do? They run the fucking ball, okay? Even when they played Kansas City, things wasn't going well. They got back in the game by running the ball. And Devon Achane is back this week. Devon Achane is back. Raheem Mostert is not a bad running back. So regardless of the high-flying shit, don't forget, this is still a Kyle Shanahan tree type of offense. They like to run the ball. You got to stop that first. That's number one. Got to stop that first. Tua is going to do what he do if you allow him. But honestly, if he don't have a running game and you get to teeing off and that rush start getting to him, he ain't the same. And that's to be said for a lot of players, but him in particular, okay? If the pressure starts getting to him, he starts getting off because he's all about timing, bro. He's a quarterback that's all about his timing, all right? He loves precise timing, bro. That's how he gets some of the balls out. That's how he makes up for not having a strong arm. Supreme timing, all right? But if you throw that shit off, the game is off. And next, I mean, this is going to maybe be an unpopular opinion, but I'm starting to see the blueprint. With these fucking receivers, these track stars that they got, you got to beat their ass at the line of scrimmage. Whoop their ass at the line of scrimmage, bro. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you got to get physical. You got to get fucking physical with these guys, bro. Don't allow them to get a head of steam, a free release. And then once they do that, once Waddle get that free release and they start moving and you can't get your hands on them, it's going to be ugly. Because ain't no catching them. Ain't no catching these motherfuckers. What you got to do, and what I saw Kansas City do, is put their hands on these receivers at the line of scrimmage. Got physical. Didn't allow them to have free space running down the field. All right. And what I just say about 2-1 the timing, it's going to throw off the timing. If you got to hold that bitch, you tick more. And the way our interior has been playing, the way our D-line has been playing, we got to get more rush. We got to get more pressure. Now, this week, I expect our interior D-linemen to get a little busy. All right. Because I don't think their guards are the strongest. I don't think their O-line is the strongest. So, really, the test is going to come on the defensive side of the ball for us, bro. Are we fucking for real? Because, yeah, we've been looking good. But we've been looking good against some shitty quarterbacks, too. So now it's time to put your flag on that. It's time to say, all right, bro, this is the game where we're going to show motherfuckers, yeah, we different. This is what I want to see. And you know what I'm going to say, bro? I didn't even say it. But you know what I'm going to say? Last week, it was a gritty win. But there can always be more. You feel me? More. Last week with the defense, you only gave up 12 points. You only gave up 12 points in the week before that, where you only gave up 6. So you playing well. You had an interception. But there can always be more. And Tua is prone to giving up one of them motherfuckers. He'll give you one. Tua will give you a fucking tater if you let him. All right, so I think this matchup might be a little closer than most people may think. Maybe even some Raider fans think. I think this is not as bad as a matchup as most people want to say. I'm more confident in this game than I am next week, but we'll worry about that. But this game right here, I don't know why. Maybe it's false confidence, maybe not, but I think if we come play physical like we just did, and clean up some of the mistakes, because it's not going to be as gritty as a game as it was last week, I kind of have confidence we're going to pull this motherfucker out. But y'all let me know down below, man, how is your confidence level going into Miami? How do you feel, man? We're going to get more into the Dolphins as the week go on. We already previewing. I'm ready for Sunday already. So y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. Make sure you tapping on the like, on the subscribe button. Please hit on that little notification bell, man. Please share out the content. We close to 1,000 subscribers, and I couldn't do it without your help. But make sure you share that out. And remember, I always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.
I need a bad bitch with an accent. Serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young Cash App. Moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. yeah, shots to the head. Ride clean and still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids. So who the fuck gon' wanna test me, bitch?